Helen from Paws Pet Services. I'm a dog trainer in the Surrey and Hampshire border, qualified with the IMDT, which stands for the Institute of Modern Dog Trainers. The IMDT uses reward-based positive reinforcement training to help teach the dog in a fun, positive manner. Today I'm going to be working on Ruby, who is just here, and we're going to be learning the down today. And we're going to take it step by step and see how far we get. As I said in my last video when we talked about the sit, these videos are intended to help revise what you've perhaps learned already in your training classes. They're not used as a substitute for training classes. Any of the things that I do in my videos are best done in front of a teacher, first of all, to make sure that they're watching you and able to see how you're handling your dog and giving you any tips that you need at that moment in time with someone actually there watching you. But please feel free to use these videos as a way to top up what you already know and revise what you've done in your classes. Thank you. Okay, so I'm all set up with Ruby. The first thing I need to explain is what kit I've got with me. So as with the sit command, I have my clicker, I have my bag of treats here as well. Now, as I said in the last video, Ruby is quite deaf, so really the clicking and the verbal commands are for you, although she can just about hear this clicker, so it's okay. So the first thing we're going to do is get Ruby over onto the towel. It's been raining here today, so I've put a towel down so that she's not uncomfortable when she's laying down on the floor. I've got my other dog just on the side here, so I may be throwing some food at her just to keep her happy while we're doing this video as well. So I'm going to get Ruby over and I'm just going to get her into a sit first of all, and I'm going to lure the treat from her nose onto the floor to try and bring her into that down position. So let's get Ruby's attention, bring her over onto the towel and lure her, as we did in the last video, with that nice hand signal up into a sit. And then I'm going to click and treat her for that sit position. So we'll just work on that sit again. That's it, better. Good girl. Okay, so I'm going to get the treat at her nose. I'm going to lure her down. She's already done this before, she knows what she's doing, into that down position. So I'm going to take the treat to her nose, and we're going to slowly glide onto the floor, and then just bring it an inch or so forward until she goes flat. And at this stage I'm going to say down, click my clicker, and give her her treat. Okay, so we'll try that again. So down onto the floor, and then just bring it an inch or so forward until she goes flat, down, and click and treat. Good girl. And we'll repeat that twice more so you can really see what we're doing. Down into her chest, onto the floor, drag forward, down. Click and treat. And one more. Down. Good girl. Okay, so now that she's in this down position, we need to try and work through how to keep her in that position for a period of time, and then perhaps to build in a bit of distance there as well. Okay, so for every 3 to 4 seconds that she stays in that down position, I'm going to re-click my clicker and place some food on the floor just between her front feet. Good girl. Good girl. And don't be afraid to use your voice. Tell your dog what a good dog they are, as long as you're not too exciting with your voice. We don't want to excite the dogs and make them come back up. So keep calm, but do feel free to tell the dogs how good they're doing. Good girl. Okay, so I'm going to start to try and move around a little bit now. So I need to get myself into a stand position, which for some dogs is enough just to bring them straight up into the stand or into a sit and try and follow you. So for every movement that I make, I'm going to click and treat her if she stays still. So the first thing I'm going to do is just lift a knee, and if she doesn't move, she gets a click and a treat. Keep my other dog happy as well. I'm going to lift my other knee, swing a bit. Okay, come up a little bit more, and stand up all the way, clicking and treating as I do. Ruby in a nice solid down. We're going to try and move away from her and see what distance we can get. So to start with, I'm just going to be clicking and treating for every few seconds that she stays there with me stood still, working it up to 1 click and treat in every 5 seconds. Good girl. And again, I'm just putting the treat between her front feet so that she knows that the food source is the floor rather than my hand, so that when I'm moving, she doesn't need to move with me. Good girl. And I'm not saying down every time. She's already in that down. I don't need to keep repeating myself. Okay, so I'm going to try for a little bit of movement now. So I'm just going to start with one leg back, click, come back in and treat. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try the other leg. Back in. Treat. Okay, that was good. So I'm going to try for one little step now. Again, I'm clicking at the distance that I'm leaving her, not waiting to click when I get back to her. She needs to know that it's this here that's the reason that she's getting the food. Good. Okay, we'll try for a couple of steps now. Yeah. Okay, we'll do that again. Okay, we're going to try for a few steps this time. Good. Okay. And 4 steps, and this time we're going to have a little hover as well. A lot of the time when we stand still, the dog takes that as a signal that they can then come out of their position. So I want her to know that even though I'm at that distance and I'm stood still, she still needs to stay there until I release her. So we'll try that again. And back. Okay, so this time I'm going to try walking away from her with my back to her. And as in the last video you saw me do it in stages, we're going to do the same again. So I'm going to turn my back, click, go back and feed. And again, turn my back, little step, click, go back and feed. Now I'm going to try for 2 steps. 1, 2. Go back and feed. And again. Good girl. So I'm putting a little bit of distance in with my back turned, and I'm also going to put a little bit of a hover at this end now. I'm going to turn to face her, hover, click, feed. This time I'm going to try moving my arms as an added distraction when I get there. So she hasn't come up, so she gets a click. And I go back and give her a treat. That's it. Okay, I'll try that again. Like wave, and I might even do a little bit of bouncing on my knees. Click and go back and feed. That was my fault there. Drop the treat right on the edge of the towel. We'll start that again. Sorry, Ruby. Treat in your head. Right, ready? Down. Good girl. Okay. Oh. Walk away. Wave my arms, do a bit of bouncing. Click. Go back and feed. Good girl. Try one again, this time with a bit of a jump. And do a bit of a star jump. Click. Go back and feed. Okay, so the next step is to see if I can move around Ruby. I know that I can walk away from her with my back to her. I can do some star jumps to cause a distraction, and she's staying there quite solid now. So I'm now going to try and build up and see if I can do a circle. So to start with, I'm just going to again click and treat her for staying in that position so well. And now I'm going to start to do tiny movements around her, so going to her side, click for her staying, coming back in. Then the other side, click, going back in. Try a little bit more this time. Her side, and back. Girl, back again. Clicking side before we go back to her. Good girl. I'm going to try and go right behind her this time. Good dog. She can look as long as she doesn't turn. And the other way. Okay, and to finish with, I'm going to try a full circle. Good girl. Okay, we'll leave it there so she doesn't get too tired. If you have any questions, please hop along to my website, pawspetservices.org.uk. I'm a Surrey and Hampshire border dog trainer for the IMDT. You can email me any questions or anything about the courses that I run or the training that I do. Thank you very much for watching. Again, this is not a substitute for classes. Please do go to classes and get the instructors to witness you doing these moves and then use this as a bit of revision. Thank you very much, and I shall do another video for you next week. Thank you.